Because this is the kids' time, and I want them to really be able to enjoy it. And if your voices are distracting them, then they can't hear everything that's going on, and they'll pay attention to it. Now, I'm going to start out with Australia. You guys ready to go to Australia? Okay, let's meet some friends from Australia. Take a look at this little guy. Anybody ever seen one like him?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody know his name?
No.
Do you know what kind of lizard he is? An iguana. That's a good guess because that's the most common thing we see. But this one's not an iguana. Iguanas come from South America. They come from the forest areas and the jungles. This guy wouldn't be able to hide very good in the forest, would he?
No.
Take a look at him. Where do you think he could hide really good and not be seen?
In a tree.
In a tree? Ooh, that would be good if it was the right kind of tree. What do you think? In the grass? Well, let's try again. Look at his colors. Look at the texture of his skin. Where could he hide?
In the rocks.
Rocks. That's it. Deserts. He is from the deserts of Australia. Take a look at his body. He's got sandy brown kind of colors. He's got a little bit of green in him right now because he was sitting on some green sand that dyed his toes. Isn't that funny? So he's got green toes right now. But normally he doesn't have green toes. His name is Sydney, and he's a bearded dragon. Okay, you have a question?
He's a boy?
Yes, he's a boy. This guy's a boy, and we have a little girl over there too that we're going to get out in a minute. Now, Sydney has some ways of protecting himself. Can anybody see one of the ways that he can protect himself? What do you think? What are those?
Spikes.
Spikes. That's right. Sydney has spikes. Do they look like they'd be pretty scary?
Yes.
If you were a dingo, which is a kind of a dog in Australia, and you were hungry, you got rumbly down in that tumbly and you want some food, and you're walking around and you find this guy sitting on a rock, and you walk up to him and he decides, I might be in danger. I think I need to scare this guy off. Do you know what he's going to do?
Yeah.
What's he going to do?
Puff up.
Puff up. Take a big breath. Go. Make yourselves as big as you can. Okay, when you puff up like that, the spines on the side are going to stand out. Because look, when I touch them, they're actually kind of soft. But when he puffs up, they can get bigger and they look more scary. Also, he's going to start doing push-ups. Have you ever done push-ups? Yeah. Push your arms up and down. He's going to stand on the rock and he's going to start doing push-ups. And when he does push-ups, he's saying, I'm big, I'm bad. He wants you to go away. And a bearded dragon, one of the reasons he's called a bearded dragon is because he's got this area underneath here where his beard would be that turns dark. It gets really dark and he wants to look menacing and scary. So here he is, puffed up real big, doing push-ups, darkening up his beard, and that dingo's looking at him. Do you think he's going to want to eat him for lunch?
No.
No, that dingo's going to go, you know what? I think I'll find an easier lunch over here, and he's going to go the opposite direction. And this little guy is safe for another day. Why else would he be sitting on a rock? What does a reptile need to do? Why does it have to be on a rock? What do you think?
It has to his blood stay warm.
Yes, he needs the heat. He can't create his own body heat. He's not warm-blooded. Some people call it cold-blooded because he needs the heat from the outside, either from the sun or right now, he's sitting here quite happy because he's absorbing heat from my hands. He likes to sit, one of his favorite things is to sit on my shoulder right like this. He'll just sit here and hold on, and he'll actually go shopping with me like this. The computer store guys always want me to bring him in with me because whenever I go to the computer store, Sydney sits there and watches. And he just enjoys coming. I'll sit on the dashboard of my car, soak up the sun, and go with me. Does that seem like a kind of a strange pet to go taking with me? Yeah, well, you know what? I find that each one of these reptiles has their own personality. Have you ever thought of a snake or a lizard having a personality? They do. Sydney is very sociable. He likes people. He likes to get out and meet people. But we have another bearded dragon named Vinny. And Vinny's got attitude. And his attitude is that I don't like anybody. So each one is very different. Would you guys like to touch and get to feel what he feels like? All right. What I want to do is bring him around here. I was hoping my son was going to be in here by now to come help show these guys. Use your petting finger. Do we have any volunteers that are comfortable with lizards and snakes that have been around? Oh, good. This is Sydney. Why don't you do that side of the room? And I'll get Annie out and do this side of the room. What I want you to do is look at those spikes. Feel the texture of the skin. And notice how well it would be able to hide in the desert. Now I'm bringing Annie around here.
The girl.
Yep, she's a girl. She's shedding a little bit.
What is shedding when its skin comes out?
Now the question is, what is shedding? Reptile skin does not grow. Okay, you guys, it's getting noisy.
Who's more bigger, the girl or the boy?
The question was about the skin. Reptile skin cannot grow. They have to shed their skin. It's just like when a shirt gets too tight, their skin gets too tight.
Who's bigger, the boy or the
I'll come around on that side too for you to be able to see. Now when a lizard sheds, it sheds off in pieces. Does a snake shed its skin in lots of different little pieces?
No.
No. Have you ever seen how a snake sheds?
Yeah, it uses a rock and it just tries to disappear.
That's right. It rubs on a rock or something rough and starts shedding right from its head and crawls out.
Ooh, it feels like a rock.
Yep, it feels like a rough rock. Okay. Oh, you got a lizard music. That's cool. I'd like to see that afterwards if I could. Whoa. Pretty neat, huh? All right, do you think all lizards feel the same? No. Oh, slimy? I've never known a lizard that was slimy myself. I've known some that are slick and smooth, and I've known some frogs that are pretty slimy.
What is that?
Okay, this little guy is also from Australia. But this one is called, okay, I need you guys to pay attention. Those of you that are finishing petting, that's okay. But you can still listen while you're petting, all right? So keep voices down so you can hear my voice. Now, look at this guy's tongue. Okay, everybody over here got a chance to pet. And it goes right into the top drawer there. Can you see his tongue? What color is the tongue?
Blue.
Blue, that's right. This is called a blue tongue skink. Come on, show him again. Open up. What is he doing when he sticks his tongue out? Anybody know? Smelling, that's right. Oh, eating's a good guess, but actually what he's doing is tasting the air. He's putting his tongue out, tasting the molecules of air, bringing them back in and putting them into special holes in the roof of his mouth. Now I want you guys to say this. It's called Jacobson's organ.
Jacobson's organ.
Jacobson's organ. That is a special place right in the roof of the mouth where the tongue goes right back up in. Just like we have 2 holes in our nose, they have 2 holes in the roof of their mouth where the tongue goes up. And they can smell hundreds of times better than we can using their tongue. Now this little guy here is sniffing around with that tongue to try and find out who's here and is there anything to what? Eat. That's right. Now both of these lizards are what's called an omnivore. Have you ever heard of that word?
No.
Omnivore. Okay, oh, there you go. A meat eater and a plant eater, both. This one actually is a special kind of meat that it eats. It's called an insectivore.
What's that?
Okay, now his favorite thing is to have a salad bar. Who likes salad bar? I love salad bars. Now he loves to have a wonderful salad bar with very special croutons on top. Do you know what the croutons are?
Yeah.
Those are the crunchies. The crunchy things on top. Guess what his croutons are? What is it? I still couldn't hear you. Flies? Ooh, good guess. Actually, his favorite croutons are crickets and mealworms. Nice and crunchy mealworms. Oh, you like mealworms?
I got one at my tool.
Oh, they are cool. I love to watch mealworms. And they grow up and turn into really neat beetles. Well, he really likes to eat the mealworms and the crickets on top of his salad. And that's his favorite type of crouton. Now, does this one look like it would live in the desert like the bearded dragon did?
No.
No, take a look at its colors. Where would this one be able to hide really good? Camouflage.
On a log?
On a log, that's a good thing. And I heard forest. Absolutely, the forest, and where the trees have fallen down below, where there's lots of shadows and old dead leaves, we call it the leaf litter. They get down in there and they hide and they go into burrows. This one almost looks like a snake, doesn't it? It doesn't have very big legs. Do you know what his name is?
What?
The kids in my camp named him Hot Dog. They said when he was little that he looked like a hot dog with legs on him. Is that a silly name?
Yeah.
So that's his name. It's stuck. He's been Hot Dog ever since. Now Hot Dog here likes to hide. As soon as I set him down, he's going to hide his head. If I put him here on my arm, what he'll normally do is tuck his head under my arm. And what he believes, there he goes, he's tucking his head, he can't see you. So now that he can't see you, guess what? You guys can't see him. Okay, that's what he thinks. As soon as he gets his head hidden, he thinks he's safe. And even though the rest of his body's sticking out there, which is a reason why it's really good that he lives down under bushes, because the bushes help hide him. Because he's not very smart at hiding, is he? Can you guys still see him?
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is his way of hiding. He thinks that he's all nice and safe now. Now, when you said that he looked like he'd live in the forest, he does, but he doesn't climb very good. He likes to burrow and go down into holes. So if he tried to climb, his little tiny legs wouldn't hold him up because his body's too big. Now he is very slick and smooth. Unfortunately, he gets pretty upset if too many people touch him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let a couple here in the front touch and then describe. Who wants to be able to tell people what he feels like? Can you come up here and do that? Okay, feel him and tell him what he feels like. Go ahead and pet him. What does he feel like?
Like a rock.
Does it feel real hard like a rock? Now is he smooth or soft or rough? What do you think? Okay, you want to come up? Yeah, come on up. Now you use your words and describe. What do you feel?
Like hard.
It's hard, but is it smooth or rough?
Rough.
You think it's rough compared to the bearded dragon? Feel.
It's sort of soft.
Yeah, doesn't it, instead of feeling bumpy and spiky, it feels like all the scales are laying down smooth. Yeah, that's what we're looking at here, is a totally different feeling. Okay, come on. Can you speak Spanish?
No.
No? Okay. Who do we have that speaks Spanish for anybody? Do we have any that only speak Spanish? No, I guess we're doing okay. I was going to ask somebody to translate for me.
He feels like rough and the scales are all bumpy.
He's got big scales that are bumpy, but they're smooth to the touch and lay down flat. Okay, now I'm going to bring out another one, then we'll have a couple more volunteers. We're going to leave from Australia and we're going to go to Argentina. Okay, did anybody have any question about the Australian ones? No. Nope, okay, let's go to Argentina. Come here, big girl. What do you think about this one? Isn't she pretty? Look at the colors. How many colors can we see in her? Black. What else do we see? White. Brown. Yellow. What else? Green. We've even got, what do we see along the side? Actually, it's kind of a red. The reddish color. Okay, she's called a red tegu. This is a tegu lizard, T-E-G-U, tegu. That's a whole type of lizard, okay? Now, red here, if you were to come across another tegu lizard, you need to be very careful because tegus are known for snapping. They like to bite. They are not omnivores like we were talking about a minute ago. They are carnivores. What's a carnivore? A meat eater. That's all she eats is meat. 100% meat eater. So if you ever